Yo guys, so I wanted to do a video talking about this new game by Final Mouse Entertainment, one of the subsidiaries of Final Mouse. It's called Aim Gods. Now, if you like competitive shooters or esports titles, anything like that, you know, your Apex Legends, your Counter-Strikes, your Overwatch, anything that is ranked or competitive in it, I think this game is really going to appeal to you, at least in its current state right now. So it is, like I said, 2 versus 2 first-person shooter with abilities. You know, abilities similar to Overwatch, similar to Apex Legends, but more closely similar to anything else would be WoW, the World of Warcraft abilities. The way that works is you spawn in with multiple different abilities, and you're able to use them on your enemies by shooting them with your gun. This is just the landing page for the game, but to actually show gameplay, they held a tournament for this game. I watched it. It was on December 20th, and they had a lot of streamers playing, you know. Summit and Mendo was this match that I have pulled up here. I know Steel and Tfue were playing as well. I know Sinatra and Zoms were playing, so people I'm sure you've heard of if you're into competitive FPS or anything like that, but I'm going to show some gameplay here and sort of just talk through what's going on so you just have a good understanding of what the game is about, sort of what the gameplay is, and like I said, this was from the tournament that Final Mouse held a couple of days ago. So, I'm going to mute it, you don't really need sound. So, way it works. Each team spawns on the opposite side of the arena. The arena is very simple, it's just a square room with 4 pillars, and then a wall at the start, but that wall will go down as the timer goes up, because it's really just meant to protect you from being spawn shot at the very beginning. So you walk out of your spawn room, and I'm sure you see a lot of stuff going on, like what's this, the top left, top right, down here. Okay, so first thing, this bar is your health. Right now you have 100 health. When you get to 0 health, you die. Very simple in a lot of games. Under your health, you have your different abilities. Now for example, this is Dubs. Dub's abilities, he's using Ice Block. The Ice Block will make him immune to damage. He's using a Fear. Fear will make an enemy run in any direction for a certain amount of time, or a random direction, sorry, so he uses the Fear. When he turns the Fear on, his gun will glow a color, and when he shoots the enemy will get feared. Next one is a Stun. He's got a ability that gets him out of roots or makes other abilities not work on him, so for example, this cloak on the F, if Summit, for example, had a Fear, which, let's see, he doesn't have a Fear, but he does have a Poly, but if Summit had an ability like this Fear, or any other on-hit ability, and Dubs activated this F, the Shroud, what the Shroud does is it actually makes you immune to any other abilities for a few seconds. So, if Summit shot Dubs while he had the ability active, the Shroud active, Summit's ability wouldn't do anything. And there's a visual effect, the entire character gets shrouded in black for that, but it's just an example of the ability interplay there. And then, you know, he's got a heal, Dubs has a heal, it's a green here. He's got a shield over on the right for his teammate, and then he has a polymorph as well, turns the other player into a sheep. It's very, quite literally straight from WoW. So we'll go in here, they're going down. He shields his teammate by shooting him there. Summit and Mendo both have shields on them as well. What's happening here is he just activated one of his on-hit abilities. He's missing though. Yeah, so he missed all the shots on his on-hit ability, so it didn't hit him. You see how his gun is glowing, but he never got hit. Summit and Mendo, what they're doing here is they've both activated their stuns. That's what these chains are, so when these chains are above their head, that means that they're trying to hit you and stun you in the middle of the map so they can do big damage on you, force you to use your Ice Block, force you to use your cloak there to get out of the stun. You know, get your abilities out. They're going to go to the pillar to LOS. See, Bizzle, he got caught by the stun in the open, so he got caught. They put the red over his head as a bleed here, so he's starting to bleed. Now he needs to run for the pillar to get cover there. Summit gets polymorphed by Dubs. Mendo's on the right pillar, but he's getting shot up because the whole time Mendo was on that right pillar, Summit was polymorphed and he couldn't help him at all, so he was using the polymorph to single Mendo out, if that makes sense. Now they're just going here, they're just waiting. Bizzle had to use his ice block to go immune to damage because he got stunned so early. Had to use a lot of his cooldowns. But Dubs is just going right in, and what he's doing here is right around 115, where the timer is now. What they're doing is they want to take this middle square they're at. I'll go back a little bit so it makes a bit more sense. Right in the middle of this square, there's a crystal that spawns right around 1 minute 15 seconds on the timer that gives you 50% damage buff and damage reduction. So you take less damage and you deal more damage, so it's really important to grab that and play around that. Besides, you know, using the pillars to LOS. Right now, Summon Sheeped in the back, they're just going to rush Mendo down. Bizzle popped the stun on him. Bizzle's gonna get healed here. Yep, shoots his teammate to heal him. Summon is just getting sheeped over and over again. They put AoE down on Mendo. Shooting Mendo. Trying to finish him, and I mean at this point it's... Mendo uses ice blocks, there's nothing much he can do. Yeah, he tried to cloak at the end, but they used their cooldowns really well, Dubs and Bizzle, to make sure that Mendo couldn't really do anything there. After he ice blocked, it was pretty much over because they still had stuns up, you know. They both had their own ice block. Bizzle actually is running, it looks like he has the headshot ability as well, so every time you do a headshot it does more damage. That's on a short cooldown, and then he has the polymorph as well to keep the other player CC'd after the first player uses ice block. But it can be a little bit overwhelming to look at. I know if you've never played WoW Arena, it really is a gameplay intuitive game. You're not going to get much from like the graphics or trailers or anything. Even the cover art looks a little bit weird, but I did sort of want to give a brief overview of the gameplay and you know what's going to be available with the game and like should you get the game. Now for the question, yeah, should you get the game? I really think for $30 it's unusual because a lot of the games these days are free. Apex Legends, Counter-Strike all gone free to play. But I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you do not at least try this game. It is $30. It kind of sucks. I mean, you can watch people play it on Twitch if that's your thing. Make your decision there. The gameplay is so addicting. I really can't stress enough how fun the game is to play and how fresh of an experience it is. I'm surprised that no one has done this before. Just turned WoW Arena into an FPS. They've done a really good job with the abilities, and the reward system, in fact, is another compelling thing about the game. Now, the reward system, as you may know, they released their new mice alongside the game. They call them the Legendary Mice of the Gods. Another, you know, sort of weird scheme, but the Legendary Mice, they are 37 grams, wireless. They are made of a magnesium alloy, the lightest structural metal on Earth. So it is a metal mouse. And the way they get incorporated into the game is that if you are within the top few ranks, I think there's, you know, they rank them by AIM God, AIM Demigod, AIM Legend, so on and so on. You can actually check your rank on this website here. This is the key. Let me go to... I'll just duplicate and try and get into my own account here. So yeah, and it'll show your percentage too. So top 1.78% AIM God at the moment. It'll show your actual elo in the game as well. But the way it works is it'll say, okay, current season rewards. The button doesn't work right now because they're still working on it. But if you're within, you know, the top 5%, I believe is what they said on Twitter, the top 5% of players at the end of each season. The first season that's going on right now is 70 days long. If you're within that top 5%, you actually are eligible to receive this mouse for free. When the MSRP, as listed on the website here, like I said before, is $300 for the mouse. You can also open these keys. You know, it says use a golden key, but that's sort of broken right now, so I won't talk about that much. Everyone's still waiting for their keys, but yes, if you're within the top 5%, you're eligible to get the mouse for free. They will send it to you at the end of the season. Like I said, that lasts 70 days. And you'll be able to try out the new drop that they've come up with. The mice really do look beautiful. It honestly is a work of art. The buttons, the etching on the buttons is so nice. I really like the look of the shell. It doesn't look that thin, even though I know this is going to be thinnest mouse that they've made due to the magnesium alloy being only 37 grams. They have to really cut down on it, even if it is the lightest metal. They can't use a lot of it. It's still metal versus plastic, so you want to or they wanted to make sure to keep it lighter, more competitive than, you know, the Razer Viper Ultimate, G Pro Wireless, Model O Wireless, any other competitors in the market. But the reward system for the game is interesting. You know, rather than rewarding you with skins like they do in Overwatch, or with gladiator mounts like they do in World of Warcraft for getting high rank in Arena, they've actually gone ahead and offered a physical product for reaching high rank, which I think is really interesting. No one has ever done that before, as far as I know, at least in any major title that I've played recently. So the reward system is pretty interesting. Everything about this is really intriguing to me, honestly. The gameplay especially is something that I'm very interested in. I have had a lot of fun playing the game. For myself,